Um, are you into fragrances, and if so, what fragrances are you into?
Fragrance, I would have to say Dolce. Like I right now, Dolce. My favorites, Dolce. One, um, King.
What's going on, guys? Webster here, the man of voice of fragrance, here with a man about the adult industry, a stylish guy, somebody who, well, according to his name, digs a lot, Mr. Dante Diggz. Dante, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. And yourself?
I'm good, man. I can't complain. Getting to talk to you tonight, learning some things about the industry, and more importantly, about yourself and who you are. So let's start with the first question, which is probably the most obvious question.
Let's go.
How did you get into the adult industry?
Okay, I always laugh when people ask this question. Because it's a funny story. It's so many different things came together. But the main part, I was in the lifestyle.
Okay.
I was into the swinger lifestyle. Um, a few girls that I was a personal trainer. I still am, but I can't find time for it inside of the industry. But a few girls that I was training, they were content creators. So it was like
Okay.
I was being pulled from different directions. And it just so happens that during the pandemic, my personal training business took a hit and content creation just landed, it kind of landed in my lap. So it
Okay.
just took off from there.
It's I guess not funny, but I've heard the pandemic was really sort of the start of a lot of people's, if not formal getting into the industry, when they started kind of dabbling their toe, really started thinking about it. It's interesting when the world shuts down and your normal options. Like, okay, what do I have left, or what can I do to try to survive and get an income? And for a lot of people, is one of those things where I never thought I'd be doing this, but then now it's become, this is something I absolutely love. Why not now do this 20 years earlier, sort of thing?
Okay, I didn't get in when everybody else got in. I didn't start until 2021, until after the pandemic.
Right.
Technically, we were already out of phase one and phase two in South Florida. Um, Throughout the pandemic, I was still doing my personal training
Hmm.
business. I was still trying to train classes. The first wave, we took a hit, but we made it through. The second phase is when that second wave came. That's what really took like a
Hmm.
serious restriction. So we weren't allowed to congregate. We weren't Businesses weren't allowed to stay open. Even the few gyms that I were using locally, like personal gyms,
Hmm.
they weren't allowed to operate anymore. So I didn't get the I didn't I hear people talk about the pandemic. Oh, it was good money. I didn't get none of that. I came at the end. So but it did. But the pandemic itself, it did kind of like push me towards it, I would say.
Right. Now, I'm assuming, you started on OnlyFans first, or were you just working with other people in their content? How did that start off?
Um, hmm. Only okay. I've always had OnlyFans. Of course,
Okay.
everybody gets on when they hear sex work or they hear content creation. They think, "Oh,
Hmm.
you're an OnlyFans model." But OnlyFans was never my main my main platform.
Hmm.
I was taught in the beginning to make multiples. So like
Hmm.
the main before I came out was OnlyFans. I would put this in there, but
Hmm.
my top site was
Okay.
minivids, porn, X videos, and I just took those four and added on to to them.
Okay. Okay. Now, how long were you a personal trainer? Or I guess you still are, but how long were you doing it, like, as your sole
Yeah,
source of
before I started,
profession?
I would say 2 years.
Okay.
2 years. I was getting nice and good into it. My classes started to build as far as the size of ladies. I was juggling two classes. One at I can say Lauderdale Park. It was in the city of Lauderdale, where I stand for Lauderdale.
Hmm.
And I had another one at a smoothie shop. So I was juggling classes, also personal clients. So it was right. It was growing. I would say it was growing, but
Okay. Okay.
pandemic.
So being a personal trainer, fitness is very important to you. Being in the industry now, have you noticed maybe different ways you have to take care of your body compared to before you got into the industry? Is there any real change for you?
Big difference. Big difference. If you wanna, I would tell men if you wanna actually perform good and just stand out, you have to.
Mhm.
You have to change your diet. You have to take I would say, yeah, you have to take vitamins properly. You have
Okay.
to just provide, have your body fine tuned to do exactly what you need to do. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I
And
changed
any
my
sort of
diet.
difference in your workout regimen or anything?
Yes. I don't. Yeah, I don't lift as many. I don't lift as much weight. I'll lift
Mhm.
lighter weights. Calisthenics, more cardio for blood circulation. I changed up an entire workout. It took me some time
Mhm.
to shift away from it because I had to basically I had to reshape my body. I was 195 pounds. You know, so when I first started, it was like, okay, I see how I look on camera.
Mhm.
I was solid in shape, but being I'm only 5'9", being 5'9",
Right.
it put it on camera. I looked at it and was like, okay, this is what I need to do: trim here, tone here, and I start to like basically reshape my body. So I had to change my diet, workout regimens, more legs and core, um, less bulking. Yeah,
Mhm.
just. But luckily, I was a personal trainer, so it came easy for me.
Right. Okay. Because I was always wondering, I figured, you're working out, getting your body in tune for being a personal trainer. I can only imagine how different, considering the demands on your body being an adult performer, especially like on a large set with the different angles and shots and positions and the stamina in many different ways. But definitely, because we see one thing, but you guys live something totally different. You could be on set for hours sometimes, so you definitely have to keep yourself together and be in shape for that compared to you're teaching a class on women 45 minutes twice a week or whatever it was.
Completely different. Completely different. You might have to hold. Okay, a lot of people when they just look at porn. I point it out. I don't try to ruin it to my friends,
Mhm.
but I just point out. Say you look like I know you're looking at the penetration, but just look at the stance. Look
Right.
at where the legs are. And they're like, oh, that's weird. I was like, yeah, you didn't pay attention to that. You
Right.
didn't pay any attention to that. I have to open up for the camera. So yeah, believe it or not, working, doing Kegel exercises, core exercises, leg exercises, it helps you it gives you better stamina and endurance in certain positions you have to be in, you know. So it helps.
Right. Right. Now, you're doing direct to consumer. How did you link up with Red Bottom Productions?
Um, he came, believe it or not, I would say, I'm not gonna say he came out of nowhere, but he just showed up on the scene around a lot of people that I worked with. And he just started popping up. And I ended up coming to a shoot house. It wasn't exactly a shoot house, he was doing a shoot.
Hmm.
And the ladies that he had when I pulled up, I'm in Fort Lauderdale, so a lot of coworkers hit me up when they're in Fort Lauderdale. So he's like, "Hey, we're here shooting Red Bottom," and I heard the name before. We followed each other on Twitter, and when I actually got there and met him face to face, and I saw everyone that was there, it made me just curious to like, what exactly are you? Because I mean, the ladies, matter of fact, definitely love Kona Jade. It was that shoot, and I'm like, you got Stephanie Love and Kona Jade in the same house, so let's talk. Yeah, let's talk.
Right.
So we ended up talking, and yeah, we talk about this conversation all the time. And he asked me, he said, "What's your booking fee?" And I just told him I don't have one. And it just left it. He's telling me to this day, I found out it left him kind of puzzled. He was like, what? And that's how we started our relationship from there. He was like, what do I need to do to get you on my camera? And we just started discussing business. It went over, I would say, a 2 year time until I actually signed. That we
Hmm.
had been shooting together, working together. The X Biz, like this year's X Biz has just passed. Of course, I did a shoot house specifically for Red Bottom,
Hmm.
but the year before we did a collaboration house, and it that was. I think that was the beginning, really, when we locked in, you know. But we didn't sign until this year, so it started just working with the same people, seeing each other's work. He
Mhm.
reached out to me, and I just we have a very good relationship.
Okay, that sounds good. Now, with that, so is that probably is that the first studio you've really shot with?
Yeah, I would have. Yes, studio wise, yes.
Okay,
I was pro am pro. Okay, pro am companies will be considered studios also. I've shot for BBW Highway. Um, what else? I've shot for yeah, I've shot for a few over the years. I could say
okay,
I can count my bookings on both hands in the past 3 years. Um, so yeah, I really haven't shot for any major studios at all.
okay. Because I was asking that because you didn't have a booking fee, so I'm like, okay, so seemed like you were just doing more of a maybe a content trade sort of thing, or that sort of thing. So that's why I was curious to know.
I was kind of when I first came in into the industry, I would say I arrived around porn stars. I was at Exotica,
Mhm.
and it just I didn't see it. I'm sorry, I didn't see it. It wasn't gonna. It wasn't lucrative enough for me to actually like want to get in the porn industry.
Right,
Um, it's just I was around content creators, and content creation. You can own more of your brand,
right,
more of your projection. You own your decisions. Also, that means the work you put in, you dictate what you get out of it.
right,
And I was around some positive and successful content creators. So they showed me like this is what you can do on your own. And I don't have a problem with the work. So in the beginning, my first 2 years, I was like independent.
hmm,
I wanted to be independent. I wanted to own everything. That's what I was taught by some legends that had, I could say they were mentors at that time. And they just told me coming in, they were like, own as much as you can. Because you're gonna get residual income off it. It's gonna keep making you money over the
right.
years. Just own it. So yeah, I was independent.
Okay. Now, with you being a personal trainer, I'm assuming you were pretty much an independent contractor. How much of that business acumen really lended itself to you transitioning to the adult industry?
At that at that time it took a complete that you saying as far as financial help or as
Well, as
far
far
as
as like your understanding of how to market yourself, how to really create your own space, as far as from being a personal trainer to like, did any of that and what you learned did it lend to you being in the adult industry, as far as how you market yourself, how you conduct business, things of that nature?
yeah, this is a complete different
Okay.
monster. So I had to
Okay.
learn. Yeah, it was nothing. I can't. If someone had to say what out of all the different jobs I've had over the years or experience in different industries, what can I relate to actually being a performer? I would say nothing. Nothing. You have to. This is different. This is yeah, it's different. Yeah, I took it as I learned as I went along. Some people were looking, and I know a lot of people. Everyone had to learn as they went along because this is like a new age, especially with content creation, not just porn, but
Mhm.
being an independent content creator. This is I call it a new cheat code in life. This wasn't before. I've heard legend porn stars, people that have been in the industry 10, 15, 20 years, speak on content creation and how it's affected the industry. And this is something new. So I'm sorry, I can't relate anything to it, but I would say I put my all into it,
Mhm.
studied it, and it's just a different side of marketing.
Okay. Now let me ask you this. You talked about you studied, and obviously you talked about the first time you met Red and Red and Bottom Productions and the women he had there. Like, coming into the industry, were there any people, male or female, that you sort of looked up to?
Okay. Um, like yeah, I would say legends before I started performing. The people you grew up
Yeah.
watching. Um, Won't say any names
Okay.
because you know once you get here and you see, you're like,
Understand.
okay, you
Understand.
know what? I'm just gonna say, I'm just, you know what? All right, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, I just that I'm not. I'm gonna be honest with you. The people that I love, the people that, because it's different. You know, it's a fantasy. It's the same way people will come up to me and they they their perspective of Dante Diggz from social media is that's what they see, that's what they believe.
Hmm.
So I kind of, to meet people, it was kind of just, I'm not gonna say it was anything bad. It's just that when your mind gets a reality check of something that you assumed, it's like, wow, okay, it's a shock. All right, well, that's not what it is, and you just move on. But no.
Right. Okay. I understand. You talk about legends, and legends usually are associated with awards, and you are, I mean, award season is coming up. So tell us about some of the awards you're looking to really get nominated for and possibly win.
Okay, with AVN, you got favorite male creator of the year. I'm shooting for that one. You got we got AVN and XMA's coming up, so it's, I'm going for favorite creator in both. So yeah, I've been nominated for AVNs before, but I'm just trying to get a win this year.
Okay. Now, let me ask you a question, and I always find this interesting. I always say, like, I'm a normie. I'm not in the industry. I've interviewed a lot of people and learned a lot. One of the things that when I explain to people, say what AVNs are, I always explain it as, say, think it's like the Oscars of the adult industry. What is the feeling in getting nominated for AVN as a performer?
Um, you you want to hear the story of my first? Well, it was my first year. I got
Yes.
nominated for AVN. Okay. So my first year, I heard about the AVN Awards, and as soon as a new guy hears about something like that, I'm competitive, very competitive. So in my mind, I was like, okay, that's what I want. That's what I want. Is that the top award? Yeah, that's the top of the awards. I'm like, I want AVN. I'm gonna go for AVN. Um, my first year, I had an amazing year as far as self booking, landing collabs. I ended up working with Go Fuck Me, and our our scene went up for AVN award. Now at this time, I lost my Twitter. My Twitter got suspended, and it was just crazy. So I made a backup Twitter, and I'm building that Twitter,
Right.
and I get a call from a friend, and he's like, "Hey, how does it feel?" Oh, mind you, I went and looked at the newcomer section. Um,
Hmm.
I I didn't see me that I didn't my by me not saying my name, I seen other people that I knew.
Right.
And I was like, I was kind of mad, but I was like, you know what? They deserve it. I fuck those guys. Diego Perez, he did a scene with my friend Ace Hard on a plane with K Key. I was like, salute to that one. Then you had Lawson Jones. I was like, man, I fuck with those guys. Um, But my friend hit me up and he was like, how does it feel? Congratulations. I'm like, fuck, what are you talking about? So he's like, you got nominated for AVN. What the fuck? No, I didn't, bro. Like, come on, stop capping, man. He's like, yeah, bro, you did. You got nominated for AVN. Look at this shit. He sent it to me. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I hit up GoGo. I'm like, tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on. And it's like, yeah, we got nominated. Oh my God, you lost your Twitter? They couldn't notify you. I was like, well, this is my Twitter. So she hits them up, AVN. She submits, I submit my Twitter, my backup Twitter at the time. And yeah, I went to my first videographer who taped that scene for us.
Hmm.
And I basically was like, yeah, we got it. Hard work paid off. I told you. I told you. I mean, I was hyped. And he's been in the industry for some years. So he was kind of like he gave it to me like So you really think they looked at your shit? I was like, what do you mean? He gave me a reality check and was like, yeah, it's a fan vote. Because I didn't know at the time how it worked. And it was
Right.
like, I thought it was like, I'm putting out all those hard, like hot fire scenes, fire scenes. They have to see this. They have to see this. And he had to, I just didn't know about how the industry worked. And he kind of popped my bubble, but it made a new bubble of like, okay, so this is what it is. When it comes time, now I know how to go about it. Now I know how to put myself up for nominations or how to properly go about it. And yes, this year was that time once I signed with Red Bottom, and I
Mhm.
think we've been doing a good job.
Mm. Well, even with that though, knowing that you were there because the fans voted for you, I mean, that's got to mean something to you, though.
It did. It did. It kind of showed me that I actually what people do see. That's the thing. When you first start content creation, and that was my first year, I tell younger guys or new people getting in, male or female, you don't know what response you're gonna get from
Right.
the masses because you don't have fans. It's the masses until you show the masses, and then your fans come forward. Okay, they like this. They like you. They like how you do this. So I try to tell people, I'm pretty good at monitoring myself and just like taking conscious thought of what I'm doing as I'm doing it. So I tell new people all the time, you never know. You just have to put it out there and see what you get back. So to get an AV in my first year was like it was. I told my videographer, yeah, hard work still paid off, But he was just like, yeah, this is what it is. You gotta.
Understood. Yeah, I mean, I think just you're right. You never know who's watching. You just put it out there. I look. I tell people the same time because I have like I think the first time I went to Exotic in New Jersey and I was covering that and I just had somebody stop me. It's like, yo, I love your stuff. I was like, oh wow. The fact that like people watching, but to actually have a response, whether it is, them voting for you or somebody just like dapping
Mhm.
you up in the middle of a convention, like
Different.
that is such a surreal feeling.
It is so different. That's how I knew that is okay. I think yeah, that was a different point in the game
Hmm.
when I realized I really like this and I like it's there are different parts of being in the industry. Of course I love performing. I love knocking out good scenes.
Hmm.
It took me some time to watch, to perform, to know when, okay, you have a good performance, when the director doesn't have to tell you anything, or after the shoot, the director tells you, like, man, you're good. Like, I didn't have to
Right.
tell you anything. You're like, okay, all
Right.
right, I know what that is. But it's that part also when I started going to events and people recognize you. And yeah, I just love being a performer. I love my fans. To have women tell me, I'm a big fan, you're my favorite porn star. I watch you all the time. At first I used to inquire, what scenes you watch? I want to know, like,
Right.
and they name like 10 videos, and I'm like, okay,
Wow.
all right. All right, okay, so you be watching for real. Yeah, it makes me blush. I'm like, yeah, thank you for the support, thank you for the love. So
So you got that you're growing, definitely growing in the industry. Where do you kind of see yourself going? I mean, you're still pretty young. You've only been here for a couple of years. Where do you see yourself going in the industry in the next couple of years?
um, man, I see so much. Um, as a team with Red Bottom, we're just growing as a unit.
Hmm.
Me in Red Bottom, I'm just not a model. I direct, produce. So I'm basically just learning all aspects of the producing side now. Industry, I want to say professional production.
Hmm.
Content creation, I got that. I did that my first 3 years.
Right.
Now I have the industry ahead of me. And yeah, I'm starting now. Things are starting to make sense. Um, I'll be taking more bookings. Matter of fact, me and Red Bottom, we just spoke on that the other day. I just took a I just did a shoot for in Melanin.
Okay.
I loved it. It was an amazing shoot. Hazel
Yeah,
was on
Hazel's great.
set. Yeah, hey, Hazel directed everything. Hazel, I'm like, yeah, how cool. I was performing with Mina, another good friend of mine. Their whole little clique. I love them all. But I told him I was like, they hit me up and they needed me to stand in for someone, and I was like, hit them up. I was like, hey, what do you think about this? And believe it or not, he had always tried to tell me, go, get your money, do this. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Cause I know what to expect on a red bottom set. I
Hmm.
know I'm gonna enjoy it. I know I'm making my own mark as well as the team's mark in history. So it's something that I'm putting towards my team as well as myself. But I just wasn't interested in shooting scenes for other companies until he was like, spread your wings, go
Yeah.
ahead, do what you want. Now everybody sees who you are. So I was like, all right. In the future, I will be accepting more bookings for companies, but just see Red Bottom in the future. Going for more awards, trying to make more standout films. It will stand out and captivating, I would say.
All right. Well, one of the things is you're talking about Red Bottom. I talked to Pixie LaRue at the time of this recording last night. And one of the things I really get a sense of is um, it's very much a team effort. And I'm digging the vibe as far as everybody's working, not just to really push Red Bottom Productions, but it's also you're getting exposure, you're learning things, you're getting new skills, you're spreading your wings while still putting into Red Bottom Productions and used as a vehicle to pretty much push you forward as well.
Yes. Um, I explained it. Being a content creator that I would say I'm modest, but I can see and I can recognize that okay, I have a name in the content creator community.
Mhm.
I stood out. People know who I am, but just those things. People ask like when I did sign, I stayed because I was pushing independent. I used to tell people, "Oh, I'm trying to be the young Dolph of the porn industry. I'm trying to
Okay.
independent all the way, independent." And then out of nowhere, it was just they seen me shooting with Red Bottom, but I was still doing me. And then
Hmm.
they just see signed Red Bottom model, and I didn't tell anybody anything. And people were asking why. Um, in the shortest form, I want to make history as far as with our films. We're, I we joined forces at the ground floor. He gave me his projection and his dream, and it aligned with what I had perfectly. That's what I consider like good business, and people could do business together when you're trying to get to the same goal, and your business plan, my business plan, both align, and we can both get there. So yeah, it's just with Red Bottom, where it's like we really are a team. Like we all network, look out for each other, work
Right.
together, talk on a regular basis. We've all put into it. So that's what it is. I would say it was the dream and the plan that's laid out before us. I talk to him all the time. He's like, you see the vision. Like, after a while, like, yeah, I see it. I see it. Yeah, I see it. Okay, yeah. This drops. Okay. This number. Okay, yeah. This drop. This drop. I see it. I just believed in the process.
Okay. I think it sounds like for to me, definitely a place that somebody can thrive. And especially again, when you're outside of the industry, you hear how cutthroat it could be, how just some people don't have the best experiences, especially when not just the on screen stuff, but the business side of things as well. And to hear that you guys are really, building this from the ground floor, working as a team, got each other's back, that really speaks to, in many respects, you're even experiencing the industry and how much you can go forward in this.
Um, I hope that newcomers in the industry can find just whether they can call it a niche, their
Hmm.
own niche, place to be comfortable, or their place in the industry. But yeah, red bottom. I went through it. I went through it before, so it feels like I'm in heaven. I feel
I
like
got
we're good. We gotta listen because you know what you said. It can be cutthroat.
you.
You can. I'm very observant, analytical. So yeah, I've seen everything that has went on in my first 3 years.
Hmm.
You could say I was thrown in there head first, and to actually find a producer, a team where when everybody comes on set, we know that where everybody's on the same page. We're here to handle business,
Right,
but we're also here to do what we like doing. And it's just, yeah, that's a comfortable work environment. So
right.
we're doing what we're doing. Perfect.
Okay. Well, before I let you go, I got to ask you one question. Are you into fragrances, and if so, what fragrances are you into?
Fragrance, I would have to say Dolce. Like right now, Dolce, my favorites, Dolce, one, King, um, Versace. I love it. I'm since throwback Versace blue jeans. I will always go get that. Is always gonna be
I
one of my
got some
favorites.
ad upstairs, so I know how you feel.
Really gotta have, if you don't have Versace blue jeans, you don't know. If you don't have at least one of the Versaces, but me personally, blue jeans was the best. But out of all of them, yeah, that's one of my favorite. I would have to say, oh, also Euros, Versace Euros. Those
Mhm.
four are four that I will always keep. Two Versace's and two Dolces.
Okay. So look, not bad choices at all. Eros, look, it's funny. I A couple years ago we went down to Jamaica, and the resort that we were in, I forget, I think it was a Royalton Blue or something like that. I don't know what fragrance they pumped in, but it smelled just like Eros. I'm just like every time I walk, I was like, who's wearing Versace Eros? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
a
mean,
scent that like it's crowd pleasing.
yes, yeah, I would say that's perfect. I would, yeah, I would say panty wetter, but
Yeah,
I
no, no,
just
no,
like
no, no. Ladies love Eros.
ladies love
I don't have Eros, but I have it's Oxford Blue by English Laundry, and it's very similar to Eros, and that's what got me into fragrances. And the first time I wore it, yeah,
everyone,
yeah,
all the ladies want to grab. What are you wearing?
yes,
What are you? Oh, come on.
yes.
Yes, I love fragrances. Yes, I do.
Well, Dante, I'm gonna let you go, man. But tell everybody where they can find you.
Okay, on Instagram, Dante Diggz 99. Basically, okay, I was gonna say everything else, but Instagram, Dante Diggz 99. TikTok, D. Diggs with a Z 69, and everything else just Dante Diggs.
Okay.
Twitter, Dante Diggs, Pornhub, X videos, Facebook, anywhere Dante Diggs you can find me, or just Google it.
Okay. Yeah. And make sure if you're Googling, you got that filter on, or just don't do it at work.
Mine will be at the top. It'll
Right.
be at the top.
Well, thank you, Dante. Appreciate it, man.
It was a
You guys
pleasure.
out there, thank you for your time. Thank you for your listening ear. And remember, stay safe out there and be blessed. Thank you again, Dante.